Namaskar, this is Anupam Kapil. Today I am going to be speaking about a very important topic. Please listen to this video till the end. There's one more video which you must watch along with this, because this is of Moon transit, Lagna transit and Surya Kundli transit. Which of the transits you should see, I am going to tell you in detail and how. Please listen attentively. The Brihat Samhita and the Brihat Jataka, they use transit from the moon, and so does Dhruvanadi. Mantreshwar says in Fal Deepika that amongst all the ascendants, the moon, sun and Lagna, the moon transit is the most important transit to see your Janam Fal. Why? Because everything that affects your mind or heart has a profound effect. Deva Keralam, a very ancient South Indian astrological text, clearly states that the moon Lagna is the body and the Lagna is the prana. So while giving predictions, one must consider both the Lagna and the moon. In the predictive astrology of the Hindus, written by Pandit Gopesh Kumar Ojaji, he says that by Hindu astrology principles, all the transit effects fructify only through the moon. Panditji further says that all the joys and happiness which you are going to experience, so does sadness also which comes to you, is experienced through the mind. Ojaji has written another book. It's called Sugam Jyotish Praveshika. In that, what he says, that when the evil planets are transiting through the Janma Nakshatra, 10th Nakshatra from the Janma Nakshatra, 16th Nakshatra and the 19th Nakshatra from the Janma Nakshatra, evil effects definitely come to pass. In the Ayodhya Kand, the 4th Sarga, which is there in the Valmiki Ramayan, Raja Dasharath is reputed to have said that, he quotes, that my Janma Nakshatra is going to be transited by evil planets like Sun, Mars and Saturn. So some great misfortune is going to happen upon me. This is said by the astrologers to me. So this is the authenticity of what I am trying to tell you. Therefore, transits from the moon had been most importance. Why? Because when you become sad, it's because the moon has been afflicted in the chart by the transit. When the moon casts a good influence as per the transit, you become happy. See, when you become crazy and do crazy things, you become mad. Why is it? It is because of the bad affliction of the moon. So moon transit is most important, because if your mind is stable, you can do great achievements. The great Mukund Vallabh Mishraji writes in his Phalit Martand that moon transits are of the prime importance and you should resort to moon transits. However, there is one condition. If the Janma Lagna is more powerful than the moon Lagna, then the Janma Lagna transits will give good results, and so you must see also as per the Lagna. He further says that the results of a transit manifest fully only when that planet is passing through the degrees of that particular planet. For example, in your chart, Jupiter is say around 10 degrees. Now this transit of Jupiter, which has now entered Taurus, so unless if your birth Jupiter, which is at 10 degrees, this transit Jupiter does not move 10 degrees in Taurus, you will get the result of the earlier house, not whatever is going on right now. For example, if suppose you are a Aries moon sign and your Jupiter in your natal chart is situated in, let us say, Taurus, and that Taurus degree is only let's say 10 degrees. So Jupiter will not give you results of the Janma Rashi till Jupiter crosses 10 degrees in Taurus. In the fundamentals of astrology, Ramakrishna Bhatt says that when a beggar is happy, he does not fear the king. I mean, he's trying to say that the moon transits are so important. The mind is very important, and that is why moon transits must be given the primary importance. In the very beautiful book Jyotish Ratnakar, Devakinandan Singh gives some basic rules which are very useful. These are as under. Rule number 1. The annual transits are always influenced by the transit of Jupiter and Rahu and also Saturn. Now rule number 2. He says that if Saturn is unfavorable in transit in a particular year, even if Jupiter is favorable in that particular year, it will give unfavorable results. So this is a very important rule. Rule number 3 says that if Saturn is passing through the 10th house from the moon, then one definitely has some kind of obstacles in his profession and there are difficulties in it and some kind of impediments are there. Rule number 4, if Saturn is favorable in a particular year and if Jupiter is unfavorable in transit in that year, one will still get beneficial results. So this is a very important rule. Rule number 5, very important. He says that even if Jupiter and Rahu both are unfavorable, but if Saturn is favorable, one will still get favorable results. Rule number 6, if Jupiter is favorable, Rahu is favorable, Saturn is favorable in a particular year in transit, you will get exceedingly good results. Rule number 7, if the annual transits are all good, then even if the monthly transit is giving not so very good result in transit, but still it will give you a good result. Rule number 8, if the monthly and the annual transit is very good, then each day of the month you will get very good results. The great H.N. Katweji says in Graha Gochar that it has been seen that seeing transits alone from the moon do not give good results. This is his observation. So he says both the Lagna and the moon chart have to be seen in tandem. Katweji says that the transit of Jupiter on Sun and the other planets gives various kind of good results. So what does this mean? That an adverse Jupiter, Saturn or Rahu transit will not ruin the complete results for the whole year. So Katweji says that if a dasha is bad, dasha, antardasha, but the transit is good, so you will not get the good effects of the transit. But if the dasha is good and you are having an evil transit, then the evil transit will not overwhelm you. It will be manageable. For example, if you are a Cancer Rashi or an ascendant and Saturn is in Aquarius right now, so you have 8th Saturn going on. Jupiter is good for you because it is in the 11th house, but your health will definitely suffer, though you have a good transit of Jupiter. Now, Katweji says that the transit of Mars and Saturn in an evil Rashi, evil sign, or of that of an enemy planet will definitely bring a loss in reputation, lot of obstacles and loss of name, and it takes a person down. And one creates a lot of enemies also during such a period, and also sickness. Now, while other authors are differing that the 10th transit of Saturn from the moon is bad, H.N. Katweji says that there is an exemption for the transit of Saturn on Earth and air signs when they are posited in the 10th house. So he says if you are belonging to the Earth Trinity, that is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or to the air Trinity, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and these signs happen to be in your 10th house, or from the 10th, the moon is passing in the 10th and these signs happen to be in your 10th house, then this will be a period of not problems, but of great rise, fortune, except Saturn should not be retrograde. That is the only condition what he says. He also says that you may have a good Venus in your horoscope, but when Saturn is transiting over Venus, and this otherwise should bring happiness, but if it is adversely positioned, it will deprive all the happiness from your wife and conjugal pleasures and other things. Katweji says that when Sun transits from 7th from itself at the same degree as it is in the birth chart, one definitely experiences laziness, body pains, and also ill health every year. Katweji himself was a bachelor, and he makes a very, very interesting observation on the transit of Jupiter also and Saturn also. He says that in a person who is a chronic bachelor, so even if Saturn moves in a trine aspect to Venus, he does not get married, and such transits are non-productive. They are neither good nor bad. So I am happy that Jupiter doesn't have a good or bad influence on me, and I have a little bit of free will. A very, very important point in transits I want to tell you, if you have inauspicious yogas in your chart, I'm giving only example of 2 yogas, there are several such yogas. One is Vyatipat Yoga, the other is Jwalamukhi Yoga. If you have such yogas in your chart, then even the good transits of Jupiter do not give good results. This is the answer to many of you who would be wanting to know that my transit is good but I am not getting good results. Please do check your horoscope if you do not have an unfavorable yoga. If you do, it's very important that you do the Shanti at periodic times to enjoy the good benefits. Katweji has also laid down some specific rules of transit. Rule number 1, he says that in any horoscope, either Saturn or Jupiter, only one of these 2 planets will give productive results. So according to Katweji, Jupiter is unproductive for Aries, Leo, Virgo, Libra and Scorpio, Lagna. Rule number 2, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer and Libra. These Lagnas, for them, Jupiter is non-productive. Rule number 3, for Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn Lagnas, Saturn does not give much problems during Sadesati. But for these ascendants, Saturn gives lot of problem when it is in the 2nd, 4th, 8th and 12th from the Lagna, or the moon also. Also for these Lagnas, the transit of Jupiter is very bad in the 3rd, 6th, 8th and 12th transit from the moon. Rule number 4, Sun is problematic for Aries and Leo, and Moon is problematic for Cancer and also for Taurus, and Mars is problematic for Aries and Scorpio, and Mercury is problematic for Gemini and Virgo. Rule number 5, Jupiter is problematic for Sagittarius, Pisces and Cancer. Now the most important question, who gets most impact by the transits? So according to Katweji, he says only those people who are independent owners into business, industrialists, such people who have their own business, they get impacted more by the transits. People who are clerks, teachers, or who have fixed income, living off fixed pensions or fixed deposits, or who are lazy, they have ancestral wealth, they do not get specially impacted by the transits. An astrological text called Jyotirnirbandh, it explains the transit, saying that for happy occasions, for travels, for marriage and all important things, it is the Chandra Bal which is considered, and therefore the transit of the moon is very important. And now the last but not the least, the most important comment comes from Jagannath Bhasin ji in Dashafal Rahasya also, and in Gochar Vichar also. He has underlined the importance of seeing the transits like you see the Kundali and the chart from the Sudarshan Chakra. What is the Sudarshan Chakra? The 3 independent ascendants, the moon ascendant, the sun ascendant and the Lagna in itself. So he says that there is a categorization which needs to be done while seeing any horoscope, because if you see from the Lagna Kundali, some people don't get good results, some get results from the moon Kundali. Why is this so? Now this is a very important thing which I want to tell you, and this will satisfy all your curiosities. See, the question is, he says one is a Dev category, Deva Shreni he calls it, and the other is a Asura or a Rakshas category of signs. It actually doesn't mean what the name implies, but for sake of convenience he says the water signs and the fire signs, they come under the category of Deva Shreni, and the rest of the earth and fire signs, earth and the air signs come under the category of Rakshas Shreni. So let's say Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. These are water and fire signs. They come under the Shreni of Deva Shreni. And the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and the air signs, Gemini, Libra and Aquarius, they come under the category of Asura or Rakshas Shreni. So you must see, when you draw your sun chart, that is the Surya Lagna Kundli, Chandra Lagna Kundli, that is a moon Lagna Kundli, and the Lagna Kundli, the ascendant itself, which signs are forming in that. If your, let's say if your Lagna is Mesh, that is Aries, and your Rashi, your moon sign is Leo, that is a fire sign, and the third is if your sun is in Libra. So how should you see the horoscope? You will, because 2 of these, the ascendant is Mars, that is Aries, and the moon sign is Leo, a fire sign, these are forming into the Deva Shreni. So you will choose Aries Lagna to see the horoscope only because 2 out of the 3 ascendants form into the Deva Shreni. So Aries Lagna should be used to see the transit results only if Leo Rashi is weaker than the ascendant. So out of Lagna and moon, if both are falling into one category like Deva Shreni or whether it is Asura Shreni, you must still determine whether the Lagna is powerful or the Chandra Lagna is powerful to determine from where you should see the transit. If Chandra Lagna is more powerful, you will see it from the Chandra Lagna. I hope this informational video throws light. I'll be glad to answer questions. Please do get in touch with me, and you're free to seek an appointment. You may send a WhatsApp message on 9822042295. I hope I get many interesting questions so that I can make more videos based on your feedback. Namaskar.